everyone, welcome back to day 14 of our 30-day bread making challenge. Today I have an egg bread for you today that I'm going to make into a cinnamon swirl bread. Okay, I'm going to start with the liquid ingredients, and what we start with is 2 cups of warm water. Again, I'm doubling this recipe so that I have enough, and I will post up the recipe for you so you can see that and follow along if you would like. I'm going to add in 4.5 teaspoons of yeast. 1, 2, 4.5. And to the yeast, I'm going to add in the sugar, and that is 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'm going to just give that a little slight stir. I'm also going to add 2 eggs. And then I'm also going to add some oil. This doesn't need time for the yeast to grow. It just gets all incorporated into one bowl here. And now I'm going to add in the oil, and that is 1/4 cup of oil. Okay, so that's it for those ingredients. Now, this takes approximately 6 cups of flour because this is 2 loaves of bread. So to my flour, I'm actually going to add the salt, and it's 3 teaspoons of salt. All right, so that is it. Now I'm going to add in the liquid into the flour and the water. Kind of make a little bit of a well here and just slowly mix that. And when it's mixed, I will start to knead up the bread. And I have reserved out about 1 cup of flour that I'm going to just slowly add as I knead the bread. And that will be it for this stage. Once the bread is kneaded, probably about 10 minutes of kneading. And then I will let that rise until it is doubled in size. And that will be it for the first step. And these are kind of like cinnamon buns in a way, because you just add in a sprinkle of sugar and cinnamon on the top of this dough and then roll it up, and that is what forms it into cinnamon bread. Okay, I'm just gonna knead this up, then let it rise for about an hour. Okay, so I've kneaded the dough for approximately 10 minutes. So I'm gonna let this rise up in my greased pan for about 50 minutes to an hour, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's doubled in size. Okay, so my dough has been rising up for about an hour, and that's what it looks like. So looking pretty good. What I'm going to do is split this in half. So I will cut this in half, and then I'm going to roll it out sort of in a rectangle-ish shape. I'll just do half at a time. I'll set 1/2 aside here. And then I'm gonna sprinkle, actually I'm gonna butter it a little bit, and then sprinkle on some cinnamon sugar. And I use brown sugar. I just always have some mixed up. I'm using actually basil today. That's made with olive oil. I'm trying not to use so much canola oil lately. Now I'm just going to sprinkle on the cinnamon and sugar and spread it over relatively evenly. And once I have that on, I will roll it up and put it in a greased loaf pan. And now this has to rise up again for another hour. until it's doubled, and then it's going to bake in the oven. And I will bake it at about 375 for about half an hour. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm gonna roll this guy up. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I could have lightly floured my surface here, but I did not do that. Okay, now I'm going to pop this in my loaf pan. Just gonna sort of work it so it's around the same size as my loaf pan. I'm gonna pop this guy in here so you can see him. And in about an hour, that should be ready to go. I can do the next one here. Same process. This is a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, and we'll let that rise up for another hour in the sun, and then it will be ready for baking. So I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. Okay, I've just popped out the cinnamon swirl bread out of the oven. Usually the first thing I do is put on a little basil, and it's the same type of basil that I used when I made these earlier on the inside. And let's see how they look. Maybe I can give you a little slice. Look at the slice. Here's the cross section. Very warm, nice bread. Ooh, steam's coming out. They look delicious. All right, so thank you so much for joining us for day 14, and I'll be back tomorrow with another type of bread.